Good morning, students. My name is Mrs. Vidya Naidu, and I am going to teach for 9th ICSE Commercial Application. So, today we are going to do lesson number 1, which is called as the Introduction to Commercial Organizations. Okay, so now, first thing what we are going to study is about business. Now, we are going to do about what is the meaning of business and what is the nature of business. Now, this is the first thing what we are going to do, that is the meaning and the nature of business. So now, business refers to a set of organized activities of production and exchange of goods and services to earn profit. That is called as your business. Now, according to R.N. Owens, business is any enterprise engaged in the production and distribution of goods for sale in the market or rendering services for price. Means what? Business, it is an enterprise, okay, which it deals with production as well as with the distribution of your goods and services for the sale in market. That means first it is produced, then the goods are distributed, and then there is a sale in the market. And once there is a sale in the market, means you are getting service also, that is for earning profit. That means production, distribution of goods and services, rendering service also for a price, that is nothing else but earning profit. Now, the next one what we are going to see is the characteristics of business. That will be the second one which we will be doing it. The first one was the meaning and the nature of business, which I have told you already. And the second one is the characteristics of business. Now, when you're coming to the characteristics of business, the first point is, now here, what do you mean by the characteristic of business? Every business enterprise produces or buys goods and services for selling them to others. So again, business, it is an enterprise. For what? For producing the goods, okay? And giving service, which is very, very important. And for giving services and selling them to others, that is to the consumers. Right. Now, under the characteristics of business, we are having goods. They are of two kinds. One is your consumer goods and another is your producer goods. Goods are of two types, that is your consumer goods and the second one is your producer goods. Right. Now, this I have written it in point. We can also do it in the form of a flow chart. Like for example, we can write over here goods. They are of two types. One is your consumer goods and the other is nothing else but your producer goods. Right, so goods are of two types. One is your consumer goods and another is your producer goods. Now this I have written it in points. Again I'm telling you all, you can do it even in the form of the chart. Right, that is goods, consumer goods and your producer goods. Now what is consumer goods? Now consumer goods, they are direct used by the consumers. Consumers means customers. So again I'm repeating, consumer goods are those goods which are meant to direct use of the consumers, that is customers. So for customers we say even consumers. Now we are giving the examples for consumer goods, that is your milk, tea, sugar, clothes, right. So these all are your examples which come under your consumer goods. Again I'm repeating, consumer goods are those goods which are meant to direct to the use of the consumers, that is to the customers. So the example which I have given, again I'm telling you, repeating, it's milk, tea, sugar and clothes. The other part of the goods is your producer goods. Now what are producer goods? Producer goods are the goods which are used for the production of the consumer goods. That means first the production is done and then those goods are going to the consumers. So they are called as your producer goods. That means producer goods are used for the production of consumer goods. Now when we are coming to the examples of the producer goods, we will give the examples as your tools, your raw materials, right, and we can give even the machines. So your producer goods, they are used for the production of consumer goods. Again I'm repeating, the examples for your producer goods are your machines, your tools and your raw materials. So they are your producer goods. So the first what we have seen is under your characteristics of business. Business is of two types, that is your consumer goods and your producer goods. Consumer goods are nothing but they are the direct use by the consumers. The examples are your milk, tea, sugar and clothes. These are the examples. Whereas for your producer goods, they are for the production of the consumer goods. The examples are tools, raw materials and the machines. The next what we are going to see is the profit motive. I'm underlining it so that it will be easier for you all to understand it. Now, the third point is your profit motive. Now, the main objective, that is your primary objective of the business is to earn money, okay? And you are going to acquire the wealth. Any business is for what? For earning money, okay? And to earn profits and acquire wealth. Now profits are essential, especially if you are having a if you're having profit in your business, then only you will have growth and expansion in the business. So your profit motive is very, very important, especially when it comes to your business. Again, I'm repeating, your profit motive is the primary objective of the business. The first objective, the primary motive of the objective is to earn money and acquire wealth, okay? And the profits that are essential for the growth of and expansion of the business. If that is profit, if you want the growth in the business, if you want to expand your business, then you should earn profit from the business. So that is what is your profit motive, right? So here, earn money and acquire wealth. The second one, for the growth and expansion of business. So these two are very, very important for the profit motive. That is, you earn money and you acquire the wealth. And the second one is for the growth and expansion of the business. So this is your second point, that is your profit motive. The third one is your element of risk. Now, here, when you are coming for elements of risk in a business, you have to take risk, right? Now, the risk, there are a variety of factors in a business which arises for the element of risk. That is the change in the demand of the goods and services, change in the taste of the consumers. Third, it may occur because of the flood, and the fourth one is maybe because of earthquake. So these are your four elements of risk. The element of the risk, again I'm explaining the element of the risk, it arises due to the variety of factors in the business. That is, the A, change in the demand of the goods and services. Second, change in the taste of the consumer. Fourth is your flood, and the fifth one is your earthquake, right? So these are the four factors which are there for the element of risk. That's what I have written over here. So your four factors which we can mention over here like this. You can write here flood, you can write here earthquake, then here change in the demand of goods and services. And the last but not the least is to the change in the taste of the consumers. That is, you can say customers, right? Consumers are also called as customers. So these are the four elements of risk. Next comes to the regular dealings. The fourth one is your regular dealings. Now, when it comes to the regular dealing, okay, now here the business, it involves in the series of dealings. The dealings should be recurring, right? The dealings, the purchase and the sale, it should be in recurring form. Then only what will happen is it can be told as a transaction that is done in a business. If there is no purchase or sale in the regular basis, then we cannot say that there is regular dealing. Means what it is, if there is no transaction that is done regularly, it cannot be told as a business, right? That is called as your regular dealings. The fifth one is the creation of utilities. The fifth one is your creation of utilities. Now business, it creates the form of utility by converting the raw materials into finished goods. That will be your first point for the creation of utilities. So to form the utility, you should have what? The utility by converting raw materials into finished goods. This will be your first point for your creation of utility, that is the conversion of the raw materials into your finished goods or products. Okay, now the place utility, you have got the two more things, that is, one is your place utility and you have got your time utility. Your place utility is nothing else but your transportation, whereas your time utility is your storage. So here, this is your first point, and your second point over here is your place utility, and this place utility is nothing else through transportation. And you have got your time utility, which is very, very important, which is nothing else but your storage. Right. So here the fifth point is your creation of utilities. Your creation of utilities, you have got the utility which is converting the raw materials into finished goods. The second is the place of utility, which is your transportation, and the third one is nothing else but a time utility, which is your storage. So these are for your fifth point, which I've explained to you all, is the creation of utilities. Right. Next, the sixth one is the sale You have got your sale, transfer or exchange. Sale, transfer or exchange. Now, in any business activity, you have got the sale of goods and services, transfer of goods and services, and exchange of goods and services. So these three are very, very important as when your business activities are involved. So your business activities, they involve in what? Your sale of goods, exchange of goods, and third one is your goods and services, and that also for a price, okay, to earn profit. So all business activities, they involve sale of goods and services, exchange of goods and services, and your sale and exchange of goods and services for earning profit. This is your first point. Okay, so they involve what? They involve sale, transfer and exchange of goods and services. So this will be your first point. Okay, your second point is if there is no sale of goods, there is no exchange of goods and services, that time you will not get the price, that is you will not earn profit, and you cannot say that it is a business, right? So here if there is a sale, transfer and exchange of goods and services, you get profit. Okay, you get profit, or you can earn profit for the price which you are getting. If there is sale, transfer and exchange of goods and services, then you get profit, you get the price for it. And if the second point, if there is no sale or transfer or exchange in goods and services, then you don't get profit. Okay, that is no price. This is very, very important. This is the sixth point, which is a sale, transfer or exchange. The seventh one is your business in economic activity. The seventh one is business in economic activity. Now, whenever there is a business in economic activity, it involves what? Production and distribution of goods and services according to satisfy the human wants. According to the needs of the customers, according to the needs of the consumers, the production and the distribution of goods are done. So business is an economic activity which involves production and distribution of goods and services according to the need of the customers or consumers, or you can say according to the human wants. So this is your seventh point. Next is your human activities. So once we have done with the introduction part, then we have come to the characteristics of business, where the 7 points are: the first one is your dealings in the goods and services. The second point is your profit motive. The third point is your element of risk. The fourth point is your regular dealings. The fifth point is your creation of utilities. The sixth point is your sale, transfer or exchange of goods and services. And the last but not the least is the business, which is an economic activity. Now, the next which we are going to do is your human activities. Now, your human activities, you're having two types. One is your economic activity and another is your non-economic activity. Now, before going this, again I will try to summarize to you all what we have done today, that is the meaning of business, second, characteristics of business, and under your characteristics of business, we have come to the 7 points which I have already told you all the dealings of your goods and services, then your profit motive, then your third one is your element of risk, the fourth one is your regular dealings, the fifth one is the creation of utilities, the sixth point is the sale, exchange or transfer of the goods, and the last one is the business, which is an economic activity. Now, the next one which we are going to do is the human activities. Under your human activities, you are having the economic activities, two types. One is your economic activities and the other one is your non-economic activities. Now, under your economic activities, you are having three types which comes. One is your business, second is your profession, and third is your employment. Okay, these three, they come under your economic activities. The four things which come under your non-economic activities are nothing else but your parental, religious, social, and patriotic. Parental, religious, social, and patriotic. Okay, so now this is your human activities, the table which I have made. One is your economic activities, another is your non-economic activities. Under your economic activities, you are having your business, profession, and your employment. Comes to your non-economic activities, it is your parental, next comes is your religious, then comes your social, and the last but not the least is your patriotic. Now, here I have put one picture about your economic activity and your non-economic activity. Now, under your non-economic activity, you can see that there is a motive of getting the psychological satisfaction. There is no monetary benefits. And the third one, I've given you the examples for your non-economic activities, which is you're playing in the park, going to the temple, and watching movies. So these are the three examples which I have given for your non-economic activity. Now, what is now giving a distinction between the economic and non-economic activity? Now here, when we are doing the distinction between the economic and non-economic activity, the first one will be the purpose. Right, the second one will be the reward. The first one is your purpose. Thank you, dear children, and we are going to see you all in next session.